Hello again, everyone. Today I will be listening to the song We Are One by Wild Youth, which is another potential representative for Ireland in Eurovision this year. Let's hear what it sounds like. Very uplifting right from the get-go, even though they kind of just filter out everything in the sound. But you just get this joyful, uplifting mood in the backing track. The piano is very bouncy, even when it's filtered out. We get back up again. We take a look around. A little shaker thrown in here. I kind of like this sound idea actually, how all of the instruments are really faded out to be kind of sound like they're being played in a different room or space. I kind of like the movement of this melody as well, how it works with the chords behind it. Production wasn't really hit here. It's a pleasant concept though. I like how uplifting it is. Kind of puts me in a good mood, I guess. So some electric guitar for some additional rhythm here. Sounds very digitalized though. There's a nice idea in the instrumentation, I think. Maybe the energy needs to be a little bit more constant. I think that it's a bit stale in the verses, I guess. It's quite effectively building. It's effective for building, but I would have probably needed some variation in that second verse. I think the instrumental needs more life and thought being put into it. Structure of the vocal arrangement all the way throughout is pretty solid. I don't really think the instrumental backs it up though. It's a pleasant melody as well, I like it. Drums need some mixing. Yeah, keep it going, that's nice. Vocals chanting in the background. I like how it keeps going. The ideas are all there. I'm kind of intrigued by this one because the ideas I think are there. There's potential in this song, definitely. Production-wise, it's not there at all. I hope this is just a demo because they really need to polish the mixing of this song. Everything is very just in the same kind of boat at the moment. The compression is quite poor, in all honesty. There's not really any attention being paid to sound here, to really just make sure that everything sounds cohesive and how that everything is supposed to match with each other. I feel like dynamics is completely out of the questions here, or out of the question here. There's really no such thing in this production. The thing that I'm hearing right now sounds very unfinished, production-wise. It's unfortunate because they recorded everything, they put it together nicely. The song is well kind of written in a sense. I like the uplifting mood of it. I like the instrumental ideas that they have. There's a nice concept to it. The melody is strong. The vocal performance sounds decent. I like the vocal arrangement with the backing vocals towards the end as well. The song builds quite nicely in that sense. No real structural flaws in that sense. Maybe a bit on the static side going into the verses of the song. I think it builds quite nicely in the first minute of the song. It's a very kind of toned down and restrained opening verse that really just builds with this with the filtered out, all of the instruments have basically just been put in a cutoff filter to really highlight the vocal, and then when the first chorus hits, it actually feels credible. But then as the second verse comes in, you kind of go back into square one or whatever you say, and it's a bit on the static side. I would have wished for a little bit more variation there, some energy, maybe a different instrumental approach, but it's fine. I don't really have major issues with the song as a whole if they can sort out the main issues that they have, and that would be the crispy sound of everything, because it sounds very muffled at the moment. All of the sounds are just kind of a complete cloud of it's a bit on the messy side, because everything has just been thrown together in a very tight little space. There's not really any room for instruments to kind of separate themselves from the cohesion of the soundstage. Everything is just inside this one little ball. When you have a soundstage, you can kind of expand that and you can create something massive and allow instruments to take different turns between melodically but also and rhythmically, but also kind of take up different places within panning and within just the space that you have, as the instrumental really just kind of builds around this vocal. If you put the vocal centrally, you need the instrumental to fill out everything around the vocal. Here it just feels like everything is in the middle, and nothing really has been taken, what do you call it, like taken detailed attention being put towards any type of instrument or sound in this song, because this really needs a massive revamp to just kind of identify all of the sounds that you have in your song, make sure that they're the frequencies that you don't need, you remove them, you kind of just make it sound cleaner, you create a more sense of kind of thought and love being put into what you create. Because when you write the song, you put work into it. You should put equal amount of work, if not even more, when producing it and making sure that it sounds great listening to it with the headphones as well. When you see it live, it's not really a massive issue, but I think that this song kind of lacks the punch as well. I think it's in desperate need of a little bit of a revamp to just kind of boost the impact of the choruses, make sure that the instrumental actually carries like a tone that you'd find pleasant to listen to, and just make sure that everything sounds very clean and crisp, because I think the instrumental approach as well that this song has, it's one of those that you kind of really want the overwhelming instrumental sound to really come across with a lot of clarity and a lot of what do you call it, like an atmospheric impact. You want it to have this glossy sound that they're kind of going for with the electric guitars and with this uplifting what do you call it, like staccato piano rhythms that they have. You kind of want the impact to really be this bouncy and upbeat and uplifting and joyous feeling, instead of just having it be a bit narrowed down and a bit muffled in that sense. I hope you kind of get what I'm going for here. If you don't agree with me, that's completely fine. Do tell me that. But those are just my initial thoughts about this one. I feel like it's underproduced, and I feel like that's really hindering the song from reaching its full potential. But there's a lot of potential in here. I like the concept of it. I think this uplifting approach they're going for is quite nice. It's very welcoming. I get happy listening to it in that sense. I think vocally it sounds pretty decent as well. I like the vocal arrangement as well with the chanting at the end there. And the instrumental ideas there, the concept is really strong, but it needs to really be backed up by a greater sound design and a greater production, mainly. Those are my initial thoughts about this song. Do tell me what yours are in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you in time for the fourth song that I will be listening to, which will come up soon. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye bye.